Hello, hello, and welcome to Millennial Notebook. My name is Stella,
And my name is Emily.
and here we talk about living life as a millennial in the modern age.
Get comfy, grab your notebook, and let's enjoy the ride together.
Hello, and welcome to another week where you'll just listen to us ramble, and we hope you haven't gotten sick of us yet. This is
That's your best opening yet.
this is episode 7. Don't get sick of us yet. We're only on the second month of this relationship.
Ooh, are we? Well done us. Clap, clap.
Yes. So thank you for sticking with us. We love you.
Or, if you're new, you've come to the best episode yet.
Yeah, because so we're trying out something new. We are trying out what we call story time, since as you know, we call ourselves Millennial Notebook, and as a notebook, you can really do pretty much anything. And
Yeah.
we've covered a lot of like very interesting topics, and then we share the things that have helped us and have our learnings along the way. But I think we have never really made an episode where it's just like a ramble, right? Like
Yeah.
So we
We've
wanted
had a
to-
pretty structured
Yeah.
episodes to this point. We've had sort of topics, but we have so many good stories from when I was living in Japan.
Yeah.
I was there for about 9 months, and I personally have some really good stories, but Stella and I have some really, really good stories. So we wanted to share one of those with you.
Yeah.
Of what we can remember, let's say.
So the funny thing is, so we're just gonna jump into this, but like the title is One Night Out in Japan, and it's basically anything like what you can imagine out of the title. That's it. It's pretty much a drunken night. And the thing is, Emily wanted to talk about this story, but the thing is, I barely remember it, and I don't know if I have selective amnesia, if there's something like I barely remember the night. Like I remember bits and pieces of it, but anyway, she'll be doing a lot of the talking, and I will be excuse that that sound. That was my cat jumping from his cat tower, but there was a loud thud. But don't worry, he's okay. Anyway, but yeah, I will jump into those details where I actually remember something. But Emily will be leading us throughout this story, so we hope you enjoy.
Okay, well, the night starts. So there's this place in Ginza. I think it's closed now, unfortunately. There was this restaurant, an Okinawan restaurant in Ginza that my friends found before I was in Japan. And it became like our place to go to for like drinks and stuff. And we all went out there. The plan was after we went to the restaurant, we would go out to this, was it what do you call it? Like a club night, I guess. It was like it was a couple of DJs basically playing in this club.
It is a club.
Yeah, it's a club. It just didn't really have a club feel. Now we'll get into that.
Can I just
so the
say,
plan-
like
go for it.
Emily was hyping it up. She was just like, this place is the coolest. Like, we are going to have a great night. And I was just like, all right, sure. And then, and we get there. Oh my God, it was so dingy.
No, hang on. It's not that bad. We'll get to that, but it wasn't that bad, and you'll understand why. Okay.
Okay, I'll tell you
No.
why later. Like, okay.
Anyway, so we're at this Okinawan restaurant. There's so much before we even get to that bit that you don't know about. So this is Okinawan restaurant that we always go to, and it's run by these two by a couple, married couple. The guy who's basically the chef is super nice. He's super lovely. He just he gives us all discounts. He like gives us so much to drink and like awamori. It's like a sake from awamori, which is like somewhere in Okinawa, I think it is. Really nice sake. In fact, I think it's a type of sake. I'm not quite sure. But anyways, gave us lots of that. It was great. Had lots of drinks. Just happened to be the night that we're usually the only ones there. And they'll keep it late. They'll open it late for us. Like they'll keep it open way past the time that it is usually open. That particular night, there was a bunch of boys from Okinawa who had moved to Tokyo to do for university studies, as they do. And they found this restaurant, and because they're Okinawan boys, they love Okinawan food. And I think they were friends. I think there was some sort of relationship with the owner. It may have been his son's or grandson's friends, something like that. Anyway, it was always like 20-something boys. Not 20 boys, but like, 20-somethings. They were like 18, 19, 20.
20 boys. I was like, okay, that's specific.
In fact, no, they must have been 20, because what's drinking age in Japan? Is it 20?
20.
Yeah, so sorry, they must have been 20, 21, 22. About that age. Young guys, they were playing like an Okinawan guitar. I'm not sure what it's called. Kind of like a ukulele, a little bit. Anyway, they were playing that. They were having a great time. This guy was giving me the flirty eyes. A different guy to the other guy I mentioned
In the last episode.
He was giving me major flirty vibes, and I was very
So
drunk.
this wasn't the Mexican, right?
No, this is a Japanese boy who was giving me flirty eyes, and I'm just like, oh man, I could, but no.
Look at you, hottie, getting the eye.
I was
Like,
getting all the boys. I was also the only white girl in the room, so that might have been it.
I don't get like the eyes.
It's just that kind of like drunken, half slanted, like we could make out right now, kind of,
Why don't I get eyes like that?
I don't know. It was weird. Maybe I think it's because I do it back. I don't know. Anyways.
That makes sense, because I feel like if I'm not into them, I'd get freaked out and like.
I just do a lot of cheesing, smiling, and drinking, and I get quite physical when I'm drunk, so I tend to like cozy up to people. Anyway,
Okay.
that's besides the point. Anyways, so we were having a lot of drinks. Then we had to get on the train to get to this thing. We have to get the last train because we're going to be out.
You were gonna meet me.
And then we're going to meet you.
Yeah.
We meet you at Shinjuku with two of my friends.
Mm-hmm.
We found you at Shinjuku Station. It was a madhouse. It must have been
packed.
like, yeah, it was like last train madness. So there was people all over the station for like 11:30 at night. And we had to find each other. We found each other. We got on the train, and it was only like 2 stops out of Shinjuku.
Just for context, for people who haven't been in Japan or haven't been to Japan, especially in Tokyo. Unlike other countries, the trains stop running after a specific time. And that time varies depending on the location and the station. But Shinjuku is a very central station where a lot of youngins and even like full-fledged adults, right? They hang out there. And so you can imagine like so many people converging in the train station all at once in hopes to not miss their train.
Yeah.
And there's this particular line. I'm not sure if this is the one we took. I can't remember, as I've mentioned. Like I have selective amnesia, it seems. But I think like I think we rode the Yamanote line, right? The Yamanote.
No, I think we rode the Odakyu.
Really.
I think it was the Odakyu line.
Really? Oh, okay.
I'm
Whichever
pretty sure
it was, both of those lines can get super cramped.
Oh, yeah, because the Odakyu goes all the way out to the burbs.
Yeah.
It's one of the main lines.
Yeah.
Because it goes straight into Shinjuku, and Shinjuku's like a central station. So,
Exactly.
it was very packed. But that's part of the fun.
Yeah.
So we got on this very packed train. And I find it really funny. Well, I was already drunk, so I don't really care. I find packed trains quite funny because it's just like if there's a shift or something on the tracks and like the whole thing jolts, everyone gets like pushed over, and it's like a when you're in a concert and everyone like someone at the front, like someone pushes and then the whole like I don't know, I find it funny. It was just funny watching like the three of you all squirm and looking uncomfortable, and I'm just having a great time.
Man, because I hate
because it's not a commodity, it's an experience for me because we just don't have trains here, so I always love it.
Do you not?
No, we don't have that experience here, so for me it's like
regardless of like I don't ride trains in Manila. Like I usually, my primary mode of transportation is a car, but even then, like I'm just like, ugh. But then again, I think that's just a personal thing. Like I let very few people into my space, so the fact that like strangers are like getting up in my space, just like Anyway, all right, please.
It's not pleasant, but it's fun.
You were
It's
just
fun
laughing,
every now and then.
laughing at us. And meanwhile, our
I
two
was.
Japanese friends, the two lovely ladies that we were with, they were so used to it. They were like, yeah, of course. Excuse
just-
my cat
sort of
going
laugh.
crazy in the background.
Oh, it's okay. He's really excited about the story.
Yeah.
So we end up in this place, which I don't know what it's called. I think it might have been like Hetagai or something. Not a very common place.
Oh my god! Like I'm getting flashbacks of like.
So it was this skinny building in amongst like a little shopping street. So shopping streets generally in like small areas of Japan. So each place near the station has kind of like a shopping district, especially near the stations. But it's, your typical like shops on one side and the other side, and then you kind of got like the big, a big, what do you call it, like a shelter or like a roof in between the buildings. So it's this little shopping street. All the shops are closed. You got the garage doors down basically. And there's this like doof like music coming from this like skinny little building, and there's like people lining up to get in. And I mean, it's a skinny building. The stairwell was like, it was like just the entryway was just a stairwell.
Yeah.
And then there was like 2 or 3 rooms pushed to the side, and then you went up. There was another room, and then there was a rooftop, an open rooftop. And it was, Stella says it's dingy. It was not dingy.
It was dingy as hell.
It was classic. It was classic.
Classic what?
Garage band style, like converted into, like had classic bathrooms. Okay, the bathrooms are pretty dingy. There was no carpet or anything on the floor. It was just like,
say like that.
It was so good.
Like the ladies' bathroom gave me nightmares for like weeks on end. So okay, so just fun fact for our listeners, like I have a legitimate dirty bathroom phobia. Like it's so, and I'm not even joking. Like the reason why I say this is because you know how in the Disney movie Inside Out, where there was a scene in which they were trying to wake her up through a dream, right? She was dreaming, she was asleep, and then to wake her up, like they had to do something really distracting in her dream so that she can finally wake up. Anyway, so like I digress.
I remember that.
I digress.
Yeah.
But the idea is your body sometimes creates situations in dreams so that it can wake you up.
Oh, right.
Right.
So is it that need to pee sort of thing?
Yes. So sometimes
Right.
you'd imagine, like sometimes you dream about you going to the toilet, and that's how some kids make accidents sometimes, right? Because they think that they're actually in the toilet, but they're not.
Yeah.
Now, it so happens that I didn't even know, right? Because I was asleep, but like I forgot to turn my alarm clock on, and I had work the next day. And the thing is, I think my body knew I had to wake up because like it's a routine, but I was still fast asleep, and so my body knew what to do. Like it tried to think of the best thing it could come up with, right, to wake me up. And you know what it came up with? Dirty bathrooms after dirty bathrooms after dirty bathrooms, and like and and that's how I knew that I really like even my mind, like that's the worst thing my mind could think of. Like my worst nightmare is a really dirty bathroom, and I need to pee. And so yeah, and okay, so fast forward to real life.
So not
this
the cleanliest bathroom.
Oh my god! Like so, I don't know if we have Western listeners here, but like I don't know if you've ever encountered a very traditional Asian toilet for women, especially. You have to squat. It's on the floor. And oh my god, so people like please don't hate. Like I'm just saying, like if you had to use this, like you would understand. Like
yeah, it's not great.
I was wearing a very, very long skirt. The floor was wet for some reason. For God, like I did not want to know what it was. Like I hope it was water. I did not dare think that it was pee, but it was wet. And like there weren't any tissue papers.
Oh yeah.
And then so
that's right.
like basically like if you didn't bring any tissue paper, like you were like how oh my god. Like, anyway, so imagine what kind of bathroom what kind of place would have that kind of bathroom? Like, can you just try to imagine how dingy it is?
It was not dingy. It was beautiful.
Right.
It was a club. It was a classic club.
Whatever.
It had two, maybe three different DJ booths,
Okay.
rooms, and they were all like black and like they had little DJs in it. There was just enough room for like 10 people to dance in very cramped conditions. It was great.
Pre-pandemic,
hallways, there was
just to
people
remind everyone,
chatting.
pre-pandemic.
Pre-pandemic.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Lots of foreigners, which was great. Got to meet lots of people. Yeah, and then like there was a rooftop bar where everyone was clearly smoking something they shouldn't have been.
Really? How did you know? I didn't know that.
Oh, you can smell it.
I didn't
You
know
can smell
that.
it.
Mm.
Oh yeah, everyone was smoking at the top. But yeah, it was a great night. I taught my Japanese friends how to dance, how to club dance.
Did they not know?
One of them just did not know what she was doing. She's like,
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, yeah, and like taught her how to dance. Anyway, it was great. And then the only thing that was open was the best part about Japan, 24/7 convenience stores.
Yeah.
And alcohol, cheap alcohol. Oh, it's so good. And we were allowed to bring alcohol into this place. So we went to 7-Eleven,
Mm-hmm.
grabbed some drinks. It must have been like 1 o'clock. Went back, chugged them down. It was great. We chatted, did mostly drinking. We did mostly dancing. And we did that till like 4 o'clock in the morning, and it flew by. Oh my god, it was so much fun. I was really gutted because obviously it was open air rooftop bar.
Mm-hmm.
Not bar, but it was like open air rooftop, which everyone had migrated to. But it was really cloudy that morning and it was a bit rainy.
Mm-hmm.
So I was hoping for a really nice sunrise.
Yeah.
And the thing about in Japan, the sun rises really early for
Mm-hmm.
like compared to what it does here in New Zealand, like 6 o'clock usually.
Well,
In Japan, it can be like 4 a.m. It's mad.
They do call Japan the land of the rising sun, right?
Well, exactly, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of missed a beautiful sunrise, but that's all right. Yeah, it was really good. We befriended some people.
Yeah, on that note.
Lots of drunk people.
Yeah, like, okay, so funny story, because like there are so many ways you can just meet new people in Tokyo in particular, because there are so many.
That's certainly one way.
And the thing is, like, Emily was dancing with this really cute girl, and I love cute girls. Like, so let me reiterate, I am unfortunately straight. I'm a super straight, but I love pretty ladies. I love beautiful ladies. And so when she was she was dancing right next to this really cute girl. Like she's because I'm not that tall, so, and it's really rare for me to find people just as short as me. So I'm barely 5 feet. Like I'm 5 feet 3/4. Like, so I'm barely 5 feet and 1 inch. But anyway, so she was like a tiny, really pretty lady. Like she was dancing next to Emily, right? And it was just like, I want to be friends with her too. And so I zoom all the way to Emily's side. I was just like, hi, are you friends? And then she goes and says, no, we just met today. And I basically picked her up from the club, right? I said, like, let's be friends. Can I add you on Facebook? And then, because at that time, people were still, like, most people were still using Facebook. So we added each other on Facebook, and it's just so funny. Like, we are now really good friends. Like, it's been 3 to 4 years since that night, and
Wow.
now we hang out pretty often, that lady. And I always tell everyone, like, people always ask us, how do you meet? And I'd always say, oh, I picked her up at the club. So just like how I picked Emily up at that seminar, I was just like,
That's so cute. Okay, when I come back,
Yeah.
if we're all in the same place,
Yeah.
is she's still in Japan?
yes.
Oh, well, we need to do another club night.
I know, and she
we'll
remembers.
bring her
So I
along.
keep telling, like, because this is a story that I keep telling, right? Like, I told her that. So I tell everyone that she was dancing with my pink haired friend.
Yes.
So yeah. Anyway, so
Oh,
she was
cute.
dancing, meeting people. Did you
Cute.
meet anyone and actually become friends with them that night?
Oh, I don't think so. So the funny thing is, do you remember that really tall guy who I thought there was something wrong with him because he went out and he was obviously not feeling well. So he's out in the street and I was just like, I'm just gonna check out this dude because he's not.
The one that was hitting on your friend, right?
Yeah, yeah. So I accidentally,
Yeah.
oops. Yeah. So I was being nice and making sure he was okay. Unfortunately, he kind of tagged along with us.
I remember this, and he was kind of annoying because, like, we really just wanted to get breakfast,
wasn't he
right?
like? Yeah, he just tagged along for everything after that. I was like, oh shit, what have I done? We had to eat something before we went home because we had to wait for the trains to be open anyway, or start running again. So there just happened to be this Chinese restaurant that was open 24/7, which is mad. In this like little nowhere place, right?
Yeah.
And so we went and had some chahan, some fried rice. He was like, wasn't he like a rocket scientist or an engineer? Or something?
I think he was an engineer.
He was an engineer, but he was just talking about rockets and stuff.
Yeah.
I think.
You know what?
He
Like,
was in like nukes, and he was really into it. I'm like, cool, bro. I just
I know,
my
and like,
rice.
I don't know. And what I really didn't like about that dude was that he kind of, because he was obviously into your friend, right?
He was also very drunk.
Yeah, he was very drunk, but also kind of like really into your friend. And the thing is, like, I don't know, but maybe because he was drunk, like he was kind of showing a little bit of like anger management issues.
Yeah, he was a bit weird.
Yeah,
eh?
he was kind of like getting pissed for nothing, and because your friend was obviously very uncomfortable. She was getting uncomfortable, and he was kind of like, "Oh, I'm sorry for getting mad. Like, this is what happens to me when I'm drunk." Like, he was just like literally following all around, and we didn't know what to do because like if we tried to pull her away from him, but he was just getting aggravated and pissed off.
Yeah, so the thing is, I kind of got that vibe, but so he ended up following us to he ended up heading on the same train, all the way to Shinjuku, and I was a bit worried because he was still kind of clinging on to her at the station, and so I kept texting her and being like, "Are you all good?" And she's like, "Yeah, it's all good." I'm like, "Did you guys go home together or something?" And she's like, "No, I got rid of him."
That's
like,
good.
With it. As far as that's what she's told me, so I did feel kind of bad. That's the last time I show kindness to someone who looks like they're blackout drunk, for fear of attaching myself to them. But yeah, other than that, before that, it was great. Lots of dancing, lots of drinking. It was cheap. And then obviously Sunday, I just, slept for most of that day. It was so good. Oh, I want to do it again. It was fun.
Yeah.
Girls' night.
The like clubbing, like it feels like a thing of the past now that we are 2 years into the pandemic, and like
and getting older too.
What? I know.
And getting older.
But okay, so
it's so fun when you're closing on 30.
Oh, good. Excuse you. You're you're not even that close. Come on.
I mean, I'm getting old.
I know, but then don't you dare tell that to me, and I'm like a year or two older than you. Excuse you. Anyway, doesn't matter. Age is just a number. So, what was I supposed to say?
Exactly.
So
age is just a number.
So the reason why we also wanted to share this particular story is because it's one of her last nights here in Japan. Like, it was one of the celebratory nights that we did before she had to go home, right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was kind of my farewell party in a way, wasn't it?
Kind of, yeah. And I remember when you were trying to, so we missed the sunrise, but like you were at the balcony and you were kind of like crying a little bit. You were like, you were having an emotional moment. You were like, "Oh, I'm gonna miss Japan," kind of thing.
I probably was.
You
I
were
was tired. I was like, I want to go home.
Yeah, that was kind of. Oh my goodness, you forgot to tell them what happened in the club itself. Like, there was a guy who had bread. Like, he had like a whole loaf of bread.
Oh my god,
and
he had the bread. Okay, I completely forgot about this. So, okay. He must have been Australian or Kiwi, or possibly British.
He's so funny. He was passing bread around.
It was freaking genius. Okay, so in New Zealand, right? When you're a student, generally, the easiest way to soak up alcohol is bread. So when you're drunk and you're just like, look, you need something in you, we have a terrible binge culture, I'm just saying. Drinking culture is really bad here. So if you just want to quickly sober up, or like you need to soak up some of that alcohol because you've drunk too much, especially when your friends drunk too much, and you're trying to help them out, you give them bread.
Yeah.
Because it's easy to digest, and it, So this guy came in with a full loaf of bread in the club and was handing out bread, and I lost my shit. I was like, oh my God, you are my spirit animal. I get you. I understand this. Like, it was an instant connection, and I cracked up. It was so good. And the rest of you guys were like, I don't know what's going on. This is weird.
Yeah,
I understood.
No, you should, like, okay. Just imagine a guy just dancing, and he was hugging like a loaf of bread, and then he was munching on the other hand he was munching on a slice of bread, and then so I think he noticed that people were staring, and I think I was hardcore judging, and then you
just offered it to you,
and after he finished he finished as he was munching on his toast, he goes and passes the loaf of bread to me. I'm just like, no way.
I think I had a piece of bread. I was like, hell yeah, I'll take a piece of bread. It was great.
And then I'm just like, I don't know what's happening right now. And he just nods his head. He's just like, he's vibing.
Oh man,
with his loaf of bread.
It was so good.
My goodness.
That was a good night. I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
I forgot about the bread. The bread's the best bit. I think I have a photo
of that night.
Oh, I think someone threw up. Was it you?
No.
It wasn't you.
I was very sober until the end of that night.
It must have been one of my two friends. One of them was throwing up, and I think there's a photo of
why would you take a photo of her?
I took a photo
You're
of
so
it
mean.
where it's it was a photo of me, you, and our other friend.
Yeah.
And then in the background was them throwing up.
Send it to me. I think I remember that photo. I think I remember that photo. If you want to share it with our audience next time, we can put it in the show notes.
I hope I didn't see it online, because Line gets rid of your photos.
Oh, that's so sad if you lost it.
So I'm gonna have to dig through my Facebook photos.
Yeah, I hope you still have it.
That'll be my job. I'll see if I can find it, and then
we'll,
I'll put it in the show notes.
We will, yeah. And we let's hope she finds it so that you'd have something interesting to put an image to the story.
Oh man.
Yeah, but
what a night. What a great night.
And then I think I think everyone was drunk except me. The thing about me is that I have a very high tolerance. I know my my alcohol limit, but despite this awareness, I can drink a lot.
Yeah.
And
I'm the same.
Still be okay, actually. And I don't know. And I think the older I got, right, and the more I started to drink, I think my tolerance just got even stronger, because nowadays, before, when I get drunk, and it takes quite a few drinks before I get drunk, right, when I get drunk, I usually pass sleep, right. I'm not a vomiter, I don't really vomit. That's great, but I usually fall asleep, and that's it. You won't see me until the next day. But I recently, I would sober up in 2 hours.
Wow.
Isn't that
you've built
without a headache? I'd be sober again.
Jesus.
I know. I'm just thank you, liver. You are doing your job very well. I should give you a medal.
Yeah, jeez. I wonder if it's a culture of because you drink a lot for work, right?
No, actually, no.
No?
I don't drink for work. I drink because of work. Kidding.
You drink because of
kidding. I am kidding.
Oh,
it is my coping mechanism right now, which is not that great. Children, please do not follow this example. Drink only when it is legal. So wherever that is in your country, please do not drink. It's not good for your body. Disclaimer.
Yeah, really. But a good night out.
Yeah. When you're legal. We don't know how young our listeners are, but
I hope they're not that young.
drink responsibly.
Drink responsibly.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Oh, but okay. So,
Oh.
what about we give some pointers to our listeners about like how to have a good night then?
Oh, always have friends.
yeah.
Oh, that's the other thing too, is I lost one or two of you at one point and I was freaking out. I was like, I don't know where you guys are.
Oh, and make sure that you keep track of your friends, especially if you're
Yes.
girls. Like,
Yes.
keep each other safe. Like, this
Yep.
is Japan, so Japan is very, very safe. So, but even
Yeah.
then, right? Like, especially with alcohol involved, it's very easy to lose track of people, and people lose consciousness sometimes. So it's you be a
Yep.
good friend and keep track of your friends.
Yep. Always keep track of your friends, especially when you're in a foreign country
Yeah.
or you're out of your way and there's people you don't know. So buddy system, like I think me and Stella were together at one point.
Yep.
Or it was me and all three or four of us. I don't know. Either which way, there was always someone with the other person, hopefully. So always have, always buddy up. Never go to those things alone. Just don't. Go with someone you trust. Set the same timeline. If you're going to be out all night, then you're out all night together. I personally don't like it when a friend goes home with a dude.
Why
Yeah, we
don't you
don't know.
like it? What if?
I don't think it's very safe, personally. I think you should meet each other in the daytime first.
What if they're out for just like a fling, a one night stand?
I don't know. I mean, there's that guy that we met, and I didn't like him, so let my friends go home with him.
What if it's a really cute guy and she's really into him? Would you still not like
I
it?
mean, I don't condone it personally, but I just don't think it's safe. That's just my opinion.
Alright.
But I mean, if they text when they get home and they give the thumbs up or whatever, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just a safety thing. You just don't know, you know?
Mm-hmm,
You know?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Fair.
Yeah. So keep each other safe,
Mm-hmm.
obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I guess have fun.
That's not very helpful.
That's all I have. Like,
Okay, I have
if you
more
can-
tips. Okay, so here.
Okay, good. Because that's all my
So usually clubs, especially like the fancier you
brief.
get, the more expensive the drinks get. So I would recommend
Yes.
doing a pre-game session. And what I mean by
Pre-gaming, yep.
pre-game is, if you're not familiar, have some drinks somewhere else before you go out to that club. So you can have pre-game at a restaurant. If you're having dinner before, drink as much as you can there. Or some people like to drink at their friend's place, so they have dinner there and then they drink a lot there, and then they head to the bar or the club together. And for those who are not very so I will be your guiding light in the world of being having high tolerance, high alcohol tolerance. But the secret here is to have a very filling dinner before you start drinking. So, and what I mean by that is just ideally something oily. Sounds gross,
Yep.
but like something
fatty
fried.
food.
Yeah, something fried and a lot of carbohydrates will really help
Yep.
soak that alcohol up, and which will eventually help with you I suppose digesting that alcohol a little bit slower, so that you don't end up passing out or vomiting later into the night. That's one. And then next, do not mix alcohol as much as possible. And what I
don't do
mean
that.
by that is like there's different types of alcohols, right? There's whiskey, there Japanese sake, soju, what else? Vodka, tequila. Like, anyway, you get the idea. But the point is, you ideally should stick to just one type of alcohol throughout the night, because once you start mixing, that's when your stomach gets weird, and that's when you're probably gonna vomit.
Yeah.
So
Yep. That happened to me. I can tell you about that story next time.
Yeah,
But
it's not
that happened to me.
fun.
Not fun. It
Yeah.
sucks because everything has a different alcohol level as well. So you might drink 2 of one thing and 1 of another thing, and that might be like stronger. And then before you know, you've drank way too much.
Yeah.
And I got into that trouble just once, which was fun, but not this time.
yeah. But anyway, like usually nights out will be so much more fun if you're not vomiting everywhere. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, so
I mean, you want to drink so you're having a good time
and not like a terrible
but-
time.
that it wears off.
Yes.
Like you kind of get to that point where you're like, okay, I've drunken. Like you generally know after a while. You're like, okay, if I drink 4 drinks of this, I'll be good.
Yeah.
But the last thing you want is just to keep drinking and drinking and then ruin the night because you're throwing up.
Yeah.
I guess my other tip as well is, I hate to say it, but fatty food and alcohol go hand in hand. After drinking, like we were so lucky that that place was open, but went straight for the fried food. Filled up the stomach, which means when I went to bed, I had something in my stomach, kind of soaked up some of the alcohol.
Yeah.
And just made the process a little bit nicer.
Yeah.
Still had a pretty bad hangover, I think. But it was good fun.
Yeah, it was really good. So,
Yeah.
what else? Oh, to prevent a very bad hangover, I recommend like drinking a tall glass of water before falling asleep. It
Yep.
really helps. And then as soon as you wake up, have another tall glass of water because the dehydration is
Oh.
what's makes what helps the headache persist.
That's the other thing too.
What?
I didn't. In Japan, they have those vitamin C shots or whatever that
Oh,
are
before
quite
you drink.
popular. Is it before or after?
Both. They have both.
Ah, yeah. So I was given one of those by a friend. They're like, "Oh yeah, just have this.
Did it
'cause it'll
help?
Make you feel better." I think it did, but it didn't taste very nice, obviously. Yeah, that's quite a popular thing in Japan. Those little like vitamin shots.
But even if you don't have it, listen to me. Just have a tall glass
Yep,
of water
water.
before you fall
Water.
asleep because that's usually it's the dehydration that gives you the hangover the next day. So
Yep. Or like a Gatorade.
yeah.
or in Japan
Electrolytes,
they
get those
have,
ions back in.
What's the one they've got in Japan?
Curry sweat.
Not Bacardi Sweat.
Yeah.
That's the one. Oh, the worst name, but it tastes so good.
I feel like Japan has a lot of things that are quite peculiar and funny.
Like, I keep thinking of kelpis, and I'm like, oh, I freaking hate kelpis.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You know,
It's so
did you,
bad.
I don't know if like I have a friend who like, is she American or something? I can't remember, but I was telling her about this wonderful drink called, I actually like Calpis, but the thing is they were like, oh no. They were actually my friends back in the Philippines and I was telling them about Calpis and they were like, what? Cowpiss? Cow,
I know,
like
it's all-
cow.
That's all I can hear.
Cow piss, as in like, you know, the animal, the cow and the piss. I'm just like, no.
Kelpis.
C-A-L
C-A-L.
P-I-S. Calpis.
Kelpis.
Calpis. And they're like, I cannot unhear that.
Yeah, it's not. So yeah, is it water? It's like watered down yogurt or something.
Yeah, it's a yogurt drink.
Yeah, it's gross. Yeah,
I
It's
like it.
actually
It's really good. Don't listen to Emily. It's good.
no, drink Bacardi Sweat. Sweat's so much better than Kelpis. I can't. It's too
I
funny.
mean, both of their names are kind of
Oh.
weird, so I don't know if we're actually convincing any of our listeners to drink them, but
No, but when you hang over and it's freaking 30 something plus degrees in summer of Japan, it's good stuff.
yeah. Anyway, so that's it. Like that's basically that you need for a good night, good friends,
Always good
pre-gaming
company.
and also eating, a lot of eating in between
Yeah.
and no mixing and just laughing and keeping each other safe.
Dancing.
Yeah, dancing.
It's good.
Yeah.
And dingy bathrooms. It's great.
I think I took a whole 5 minutes just talking about my nightmares about dirty bathrooms.
Now I know why you haven't got fond memories.
Maybe that's why I have like that selective amnesia, but like it's one of the clearest things I can
You're
remember, unfortunately.
You're trying to forget the bathrooms.
You know, like whenever
Oh.
I think most recently my friend tried to introduce me to a bar in a very similar area, and I was just like, no, if it's that place, do not even like don't. I'm gonna go now. Is what I said.
Oh,
Yeah, it was great.
too good.
Yeah, so Anyway, let us know if you enjoyed this kind of like story. If you want to know more about Japan, we have plenty of stories, Emily and I, about our experiences in Japan. If you want more of that or anything really, just leave it in the comments and we'd be very happy to share some of those stories with you in future episodes if there are any specific ones you'd like to hear. Yeah, and if you enjoyed this podcast or any of our previous episodes, please give us a 5-star rating if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to follow us on our socials. We have our Instagram page, Millennial Notebook, and we are also on YouTube, Millennial Notebook. If you search, you should our podcast should pop out over there. We're also thinking of maybe eventually doing a video aspect of our podcast. Let us know if that's something you'd be interested in, and maybe we could work our way toward recording our faces as well as our voices. But if you'd rather keep the mystery, then we can keep it on audio as well. Let us know.
Awesome. Oh, thanks so much, guys, for listening.
Thank you so much, and we hope you'll have a wonderful week ahead. Thank you. See you again next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.